Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place, or if you are new and clicking on today's video for the first time and we haven't had the chance to hang out before, my name is Nikki. I'm an Aussie mum. I love sharing all of the tips and tricks that have helped our family budget better, demolish all of our debt. We are completely debt free, skyrocket our savings, pay cash for all the things that we want to do, and still have heaps of frugal fun along the way. For us, our big goal was to be able to travel around Australia full time, which is why I am coming to you from a caravan. We do live in our caravan full time while we're traveling around Australia, and just sharing some of the things that we do that help us stay on budget. So one of the big things that I really like to do that's really helped us a lot is meal planning and staying on top of our inventory. So meal planning, keeping an inventory, knowing what food I have on hand in the fridge, freezer, and the pantry, using those items to create a meal plan, shopping my fridge, freezer, and pantry first. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard all of these sorts of things before. They really do make a huge difference. Use up the food that you already have before you go and buy more, and meal plan around that. So that is the plan for today. Just to give you guys a little bit of backfill story, we've all been really sick, particularly the last month. February has not been kind to us, and I have not been implementing all of the tips and tricks that I know that work because I've been as crook as a dog. So today what I wanted to do was sit down, do a big inventory of everything that we've got on hand. I know that we have heaps of food. Although we have been sick, we still have been going to the grocery store because, you know, you got to eat. But we tended to just buy whatever was on special, whatever we felt like, you know, falling back into all of those old traps that just skyrocket that grocery budget out of control really quickly. And then you end up with a whole heap of bits and pieces in your fridge, your freezer, and your pantry. So today, and take you guys along. I'm not going to show you absolutely everything that we have on hand because then I think this video would be like 2 hours long, but I'm going to do an inventory, and then we're going to do a bit of a brain dump of meal ideas that I can pull together. I'm not going to do an exact meal plan that has allocated days and meals or anything like that. What I want to do is just have a bunch of ideas of things that I can pull together quick and easily with the items that I already have on hand, or that I maybe only need 1 or 2 more ingredients to complete the meal out. So that's the plan for today. Let's turn this around and get started. One of the things I usually try to do is keep a running list of everything that we have on hand. That way, when I use things, I can just cross it off, and it's much easier for me to actually sort of keep track of the inventory of food that we have. Unfortunately, because I have been sick and we've been sick for a couple of weeks, the list that I have is completely useless now. I'm going to start a fresh page. I'm just going to start a fresh list, and we're going to go from there. So this has been working really well for me in the past. This is from a couple of weeks ago, where I just have a list of everything that we've got. I'll circle some things that are left over that I know that I want to use up coming up. So I'm fairly confident that these things are probably still in the pantry and the freezer. And then the other thing I do is I just write down some ideas of some meals that I can make, and I cross them off once I've done that. So it's not a standard meal plan that's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or anything like that. There's just ideas, and the things that I cook up and use, I'll cross off. And anything that's still on this list, theoretically, I could probably go back and make because I should still have some of those ingredients. All right, so one of the things about living in a caravan is you have fairly limited space. The van that we bought, I'm actually pretty happy with the pantry cupboards that we've got. We've got 3. I think they hold an excellent amount of food. Like, I'm not complaining about that, but they are really long and skinny. So this is our pantry cupboard. We've got a fairly small access in, but they're really deep. They run the entire length. of this wall here. So you do tend to end up with things that get pushed right down to the back, and I do find it's really easy to just forget about things that are at the back. It's also sometimes a little bit difficult to get all the way to the back. I know that doesn't want to focus all the way down there, but there's actually 2 rows of cans at the back and then stuff behind that as well. So as tedious as it is, I'm going to pull everything out of these cupboards, and I'm going to just write a list of everything that we've got on hand, and just get back to knowing exactly what we've got. Alright, you guys, well, here is my master list. This has pretty much everything on here that I want to use up, but I haven't bothered putting things on like spices and sauces, things that I would consider to be pantry staples like flour, things that we always keep on hand. Otherwise, this would be like another page long. But that is everything that I have to make meals from in the fridge, the freezer, and the pantry, minus those pantry staples. All right, so that's what we're starting with. Pantry on this side, fridge, freezer on this side. We did actually have the leftover mac and broccoli for lunch today, so I can actually go ahead and cross that one off because that's been used up. The other thing I really like about this system is that I can actually go back and have a look at previous meal ideas that I've come up with, which can be really handy. So if I flick back over the page, I know some of the things that I've still got here, like I've still got the dried black beans, I've still got the apple puree, I've still got the impossible mince. Not sure what happened to the cauliflower rice, but it's not in there anymore. So I know one of the things straight off I can put on my new list is going to be like, I could do a curry with potato and cauliflower, which is an aloo gobi. I'm probably saying that wrong. But I've got all the things to do that. So that can go straight back on my list. How easy is that? So I can flick back through and have a look and see what I've still got. Put that straight on the list to start off with. The other thing I'll do is I'll just flick back through and just have a look at some of the other meals that we've made up and see if I can't do those sorts of things again. So it can be really good just to, go back and have a look. Sometimes when I'm meal planning, I get really overwhelmed and I just can't think of any food. I don't know if you guys get that as well. You sit down to meal plan and it's like, I've never eaten a meal in my life. I don't even know how to put anything together. Anyways, I like this because I can go back and go, oh, actually, you know what? Jacket potatoes. I feel like having some jacket potatoes. That sounds like a great idea. Japanese beef bowl. This is a HelloFresh knockoff. Oh my goodness, we used to do this all the time because we loved it and we haven't done it in ages because I've just sort of forgotten about it. So I'm going to have a flick through, have a look at some of these old meal ideas, and let's start putting together our meal ideas. And I've got another page here as a shopping list just in case we need to pick up a few extra bits and pieces. Alright guys, so here's what I came up with just really quickly. I could definitely do a big batch of curry. I'll probably actually do a double batch, so I'll get half of the curry in the freezer, or maybe a dal. I could even do it that way. And then to serve it up, I'll actually add the frozen broccoli and cauliflower. Oh, I could put potato in that as well. Serve it on some rice, use up the naan bread. I've definitely got the coconut milk, tin tomatoes, red lentils, and I've got a whole bunch of seasonings. So I could easily do a curry sauce and use half of that to do something with the broccoli and cauliflower and rice and potatoes. Definitely feel like doing some of those Japanese beef rice bowls as well. So I have the Impossible mince in there that needs to be used. I know that it's really high in saturated fat. So what I'll actually do is use that small block, which I think is about 250 grams. And I will make a double batch of the beef to go in there. So again, I'll get something in the freezer. So I make that with rice. I'll have this mince, and then I serve it with some fresh veggies depending on what we've got. I know we've got cucumber, I know we've got baby spinach, and I'll make a little sauce to go with it as well. And so again, I'll get some of the beef, the portion of it, in the freezer ready to go for another meal down the track. I could do some black bean burrito bowls, again on rice. Got tons of black beans. I actually need to cook some up, so that's something I think I'm going to try and do. I've got fresh red caps in there, I've got tomato, I've got cucumber, iceberg lettuce. Definitely do a burrito bowl. Heaps of rice as well, so these are rice based meals here. Switch it up. I've got some Singapore noodles, and I've got a mixed bag of winter veggies, so I can make a really quick and easy stir fry. I have a quarter of a wombok in there still to use up, and some tofu, so that would be quick and easy to do as well. That's not a big batch meal. I just don't find that it freezes very well, but that is like a 10-minute dinner. That will be so quick to make. As well as like a fried rice. I actually have bags of frozen pre-cooked rice, and I do have a bag of stir-fry veggie. Just chuck those in a pan together, a little bit of soy sauce, and dinner's done. So that's a nice, really quick and easy use it up meal. Again, jacket potatoes. I've got a bunch of potatoes to use up, and I have some leftover chili, so I could simply just cook some potatoes and put chili on top, and sprinkle with a little bit of cheese. Too easy. I think it would be really good to do a big batch of spaghetti sauce. I have a lot of pasta, and I have all the things to make a big batch of spaghetti sauce. I just need to cook it up. So I think I could definitely do that. We could have spaghetti one night, and then I could have some sauces in the freezer ready to go later on down the track. And I also have some risotto. I'm not entirely sure at this point how I want to flavor it, but I think I'll try and make some sort of risotto this week. So sometimes I'll just write the idea down, and then when it comes time to making it, I'll have a look at what we've actually got on hand, and then I'll decide exactly what's going to go in it. So that's a pretty good start. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's even more than a week. All right, so I'm going to leave it there today. As far as the meal planning goes, I'm pretty happy with that. And actually, I don't think I need to add anything to make any of these meals. So my shopping list has nothing on it at this point. I can probably go a week maybe without having to go grocery shopping, which is awesome. I've got enough stuff to do breakfasts. There was lots of cereals. I can do overnight oats. I have frozen fruit that I can put in the oats. We do have some fruit dotted around. There's some bananas, there's some apples, so we're good there. We've got enough milk. That's awesome. Lunches, we'll probably just do leftovers, which we do quite often. Otherwise, we do have some wraps, and I have some fresh salad mix in there that I do want to make sure that I use up. So if it's not leftovers, I feel like it's probably just wraps. And my new favorite thing to do, I have picked up some falafels that were marked down. I chuck them straight into the freezer, and then I put them in a wrap. I'll just sort of mash them up a little bit, and I think they're great. So there's some bags of falafels in the freezer. We can definitely do falafel and salad wraps and leftovers for lunch. And like I said, I've just come up with more than a week's worth. I think I've come up with 8 dinners. Some of those will be double batched, so potentially I could make it go a little bit longer if I wanted to. But after we've made all of those meals, I think I'll sit down, reassess, we'll have a look at what's still left, and I'll come up with a bunch of new ideas. And hopefully I won't have to do too much grocery shopping that week as well. But I feel like that is getting into the territory of a whole another video, so you guys are going to have to stick around, see what happens after we've worked through all of the meals that I've just come up with today. And we'll play this game again and come up with some more meals in about a week's time. Thanks for spending a little bit of time here with me today while I got a little bit of inventory, meal planning ideas down on paper. I didn't actually meal prep anything today. There was no cooking or anything like that. It was just getting a game plan together. And sometimes I think that is half the battle. So now I know how much food we actually have on hand here. I know that I don't have to stress about going shopping. I've got an idea of some of the meals that I can make up. I think we have a good start on the week ahead and a really good start for March. So I'm pretty happy about that. And thanks for hanging out. As always, if you did enjoy today's video, if you could please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you'd like to see more of. And if you would like to see more videos from me, then I do hope you consider hitting that little subscribe button down below. It is the best way to stay up to date with everything that's happening at our place. And I do have heaps of new videos in the works for you guys, and I'd love to hang out some more. Well, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I do hope to catch up with you in my next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Bye.